Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. Got a stock market update. This is Terrence Ray. We're gonna talk about this big down move. Is the What are the signals? What are the signs? And what can we look for? Um, can we look for a market reversal or something like that today? And I think we may get something like that this week. And I'll show you why I think so. And we'll talk about what we can do to maybe make a little money or stop the bleeding in some of our cases, and even in mine. Right after the buffer, we'll talk about that. So I imagine everybody looking at the screens. You're probably panicking, or you know, are you just watching everything going down and you wondering what's going on? So in my we'll look at some charts, but in my humble opinion, this was all of this was overdue. I don't think we even myself, I didn't think it was going to be like this though. The last few days, I was looking for a bounce, which is, I'll show you the positions I got on. I'm down a few bucks today. I got bullish in a firm. I sold a put, and then I put on a duration iron condor and IWM, and I've been in that position for about 10 days. And I actually had to roll down the call side today just to pick up a little credit. And we'll I'll show you some of that stuff, and then we'll go over some charts, and we'll see what we can if there's anything we can salvage or what we can do today besides hope and pray. So basically what I got up right now, I got the SPY up. um the S&P 500 futures are down 100 handles right now, 105, about 2.5%. The Nasdaq futures are down 3%. And this is a real sell-off. If you follow the channel, you notice I always say that the Russell leads the way, the small caps. So, once I see the Russell turn a certain way, then I know it's on, right? Right now, you got the Russell futures down the most at 3.75%, going towards 4% right now, and it's continuing to drop. So with as long until you see, if you watch the Russell, when you see the Russell begin to turn, that's when you know that we're beginning to get a little bounce. But I believe that the Russell will turn first, and then you'll see the rest of the market. As so, if we pull over IWM, this is the ETF, and it's moving toward down, trying to take this low out right here. Now, one of the reasons why I do think that we'll get a bounce, and I am talking my book, because I do have an iron condor, and I'll show you the position. Let's take a look at it. Let's go to the option tab. So I'll go out 67 days. And here are my short strikes right here at 163 and then 158. So I still got, I got room, right? I got quite a bit of room before it can get around this area. And then here is the call side. So initially I was way out here at 215. I think I 210, 215 or 215, 220. I did a real wide one because I went far out in time. And so when the market opened down, I rolled this down. So I bought back I could pull it up over here in the chains and let you guys see it. So you can see right here, here is the roll, and I did it at 938. You can see I had the 215, the 215. I was short the 215, long the 220. So as the market was moving down, what I did was I came in and I rolled the call side down. I bought back the 215, sold the 220 to close it out, and then moved down and then sold the 205 and bought the 210 and picked up a 20-cent credit. So with me getting into the position initially, collecting 101 credit, now I got 120. right? So, I mean, excuse me, 121 by picking up that 20 cent. And you can see right now in the position, my total P&L down is 42 bucks, which isn't bad. So I got time. So I'm really not, in that position. It's not that big of a deal right now, right? So I would like to see a bounce, and I think we'll get one. And I'll show you why I think we'll get one on the chart. I don't know if we'll get one before it takes out this low. It may hit this low and then pull back. But what I'm going to do is open up my indicators. Now, you guys know I use the MACD and the RSI, and I have a Wilder's smoothly moving average up here with the candlesticks. And so we can see it just crossed over on the MACD. Like we're really right around here. But Friday it crossed, began to cross, and then today we got the completion of it. So I do think it'll pull back, and maybe we may not get it until tomorrow. But the reason why I say intraday, we may get a pullback. I'm gonna go to the 1 hour. So if we look at the 1 hour, we got a gap here, and then we got a gap up here. Now look at it being oversold on the hourly. It's oversold on the hourly. So intraday wise, it's oversold. So I do think we'll get some form of a pullback. I don't know if it's gonna go ahead and take out these lows and then pull back, but I do expect a pullback. If not today, then tomorrow. Now we do have the Fed meeting this week where they're going to announce interest rate hikes. So it's pretty much in the bag that it's going to be at least 50 basis points. The CPI data that was released last week was really bad, 8.6%, higher than I think it was before the month before, or the last reading was like 8.3. So they may even go 0.7, they may go 75 basis points or maybe even 100 basis points and try to shock the market, try to cool inflation. So I don't know how that will react to the market. I just look at technicals. So technically speaking, on the intraday basis, the IWM is oversold. If we come look at the NASDAQ, which is the triple Qs, it's oversold on the intraday basis. If we look at the SPY on an intraday basis, it's oversold as well. So that's why I think that we will get a bounce. Now, how long of a bounce, I don't know. So that intraday meaning like you can get a trade out of this. Like, so if you're long, you have some long positions on, or you're bullish, you may get a little bit of a reprieve. And I do think that they'll probably sell into it, right? Which for me, it'll give me an opportunity to, like, if we get a bounce, I may even roll that call side down some more on this IWM position, because I may be able to pick up some more credit. So I might let it, if we get a bounce and it bounces some more, I may roll down and reestablish at 200 and then 205 just to pick up some more credits. Um, and then I'll continue to adjust this position and hold it, and then we'll see how that goes. Now the position that I have on in a firm, I sold a put into this, right? Let's see, I sold a put got 32 days at this 17 and a half, right? So more than likely, excuse me, what I'll do, I'm down on this position as well, is if it reaches around this area today, this is what I'll look to do. I got, with selling puts, there are a lot of things you can do. I could buy this back. I could do it right now. I could buy this back and then roll out 67 days if I wanted to here and pick up a credit for 350. So it actually would be a credit of $1.06, which is not bad at all. It isn't bad at all. Or if I didn't want to do that, I could roll down, but I don't want to roll down. I could roll down and out, but that would be a debit. And my rule, I don't like to roll for debits and pay to roll. So I'm gonna sit tight and then see what it looks like later on in the day and see if we get a bounce. Excuse me, because I don't want to roll for a debit. Even though it's a small debit and I could roll and I haven't been, even though it's like 17 and a half, it's 1750, we're still at 1829. So I still got time to ponder on that. But either way, if I came here, I could do this roll right now and be out further in time and pick up a whole $100, 106 in credit. So, and then I'm just reestablishing my position and buying time. But I got 32 days, and it hasn't gotten down to the strike yet. So I'll just wait on that. But those are the things I think, like, when you're trading, you need to know whether you're going to be a roller or a closer. Like, and when would you close a trade? Are you okay with getting assigned, or do you want to sell the other side? Another thing I could do right here is to come out here and maybe sell a call, right? It doesn't add any more buying power effect because I already got this put, and you can see. So it's not going to cost me any more margin to put this trade up. I could come out here and sell the 30 on the 13 delta and pick up 38-cent credit. So, like, add more um, to what I've already collected. I could come down here right outside the one standard deviation if I want to pick up more credit. So I could do all of these things to change change the cost. So basically, what I collected, let's look at the chains. And this is something that I know of, that's only on Tastyworks. I think other platforms may have it, but I think that it's easier to see here. You can see I collected 167 in premium when I sold this put. So then if I put this call on, you'll see that the trade price go up. So you'll see more premium that I collected. So I'm looking for like just 50% of this, maybe like $80. Now, if I add, so what I would do is, how I do it is, if I collect a credit here, 20 cent, that's 20 out of the 167 for me, right? So then I'm only looking to get $60 out of that total amount. So there are a lot of different things that I can do. More than likely, what I'll do, instead of making this a strangle, because I like to keep the trade the same. So like for me, if I'm in an iron condor, then I pretty much am in an iron condor or I'm in a strangle. But if I'm selling a put or selling a call, then I don't want to get into a strangle. So I would just move the call around and move the put around, same thing. So I probably won't sell the other side. I'll just roll this out. But at 32 days, and with it being at 1860, and me expecting to get a bounce today, I'm not looking to sell the other side. This has not, as far as my technical analysis, it still hasn't changed on the firm. I got a bull flag right here, up. I got a pullback, and then here we go. And I still have a target up here of around $38 on the firm. So with that being said, then I'm gonna sit tight and then just wait and see what happens today. You can also see that it is also oversold. And not only is it oversold, we got divergence on the RSI intraday for a firm. So when I see divergence, I'm gonna draw a trend line down here on the RSI. You can see the momentum on the RSI. If you look down here at the bottom, where I just drew that trend line. So I got a low and I got a higher low right here was beginning. It looks like it. Right here on the RSI, the relative strength index. And if we look up here on price action, you got a low and you got a lower low. So it continued to make lower lows, but momentum wise, it's going up. So what that is, that's divergence on the intraday chart. So for that, that's also a good sign for me in this particular trade. Doesn't mean that I'm right, but it does mean that I'm going to hold this position. Now let's talk about for the rest of I would say today and maybe tomorrow. I do think, like I said, we're gonna get a bounce. Like if we go look at like the FANG stocks, we can go look at Amazon, which had a stock split last week, and you can see where I drew this gap, where Amazon came up to this gap, and then that gap right there acted as resistance, and then that's where you see kind of like this doji or this long wick, and then it turned down. Now, what will Amazon do? Now, we did have divergence down here on the relative strength, not quite on the MACD, but just on the relative strength. So we had that up move, and now we have it looking like it's getting ready to go down. I do think looking at this can go lower. Just if I had to, the MACD has not even crossed over yet. So we may get a bounce, and then they're gonna sell into this, because I would sell into this. So you may have a possibility to get Amazon at a cheaper price. I know some people are looking like, hey, what can I buy into this? Yeah, technically speaking, I think we're gonna. So the MACD is gonna cross over right here. So that I do think we're gonna take out this low. What is this? Right around 100, 101. So at some point, if not today, then maybe tomorrow we'll take this low out. So I would sit tight on Amazon. I think you can get a better price to get in at it. Um, I don't know how. I don't have any price targets for it though. And when you get something like this, which looks like a little this double bottom, kind of like a W pattern, it might be some form of a harmonic too. I just don't have it. Um, I don't have it drawn up. This could continue to run. And I know I told you guys before, if you're following the channel, I got a price target on Apple of like 120. So, and it just crossed over the MACD right here. So they could take out, now there is a level right here though, right around 128. So it could take out this low and then hit here, and maybe we get a bounce. I'm definitely not looking to buy Apple right here. Microsoft, I think it's getting hammered. Yeah, Microsoft got some room to run. The fangs are really getting taken out to the woodshed. So me personally, I would stay away from those and look at the stocks that have already been beaten down. That's why I went to DraftKings and I went to a firm. Now look, they could get killed too, but at $18 for a firm and DraftKings at $11, how much more can you lose? I think it's just beginning in Apple and Amazon. Now Tesla announced a split. No one cares. I if you go back and look at the video I did in Tesla months ago, before all of this happened, I own puts in another portfolio in Tesla. So let the good times roll, and they can tank it. Um, for all I care, to be honest, I've been telling people that these stocks they only went up because the money was cheap, and you had an accommodating Fed. We had 0% interest rates. Now inflation is out of control, and now there is no cheap money, so everything's getting hit. So we got to figure out a way to trade to the short side, or start selling premium, because other than that, it doesn't matter what you buy, you're gonna get killed. Even I'm taking it a little bit on the chin today, but not a whole lot though. I ain't really tripping on the trades that I have, not yet. And even in my long-term portfolio, I got cash on the side, like in my 401k that I manage. I literally I'm about 50% cash, and then the rest, I got a little stuff. So I'm down in there today, but I ain't really tripping. I got puts. I do own some puts in Tesla. They haven't. I think they're probably up today, but I needed to go some more. I kind of bet on the I did take a bet on the end of the world in Tesla. So I bought a lot of out of the money puts. So we'll see. So I am rooting for it. Um, if you go back and look at the video that I have called The Next Big Short, and I had Tesla and Netflix on there, you'll kind of see what, so I don't have to go over it again. You'll see what I was looking at. And we're at 647 right now. And I do think at the very least, we'll get down and see some 200s at the end of this, 240. But we're going to be, so after the split, and I don't know when the split is going to take place, this is going to have to be adjusted. So, because obviously 238 on this chart would be something different after the split. They're going to do, I think, 3-1, 4-1. So that's going to put it already down at 2 something if they do 3-1. Or 4-1, they'll put it down around 100. So we'll see about that. But the main thing, guys, is today, in my opinion, if you aren't already short, I don't think I would get short into the hole. It's kind of hard to get short. Oh man, they killing it today. We might get a limit down because it's continuing to drop. So we may get a limit down. I don't remember what the I think it's like five. Is it 5% on the S&P futures or something like that for the first? Maybe 5%. I'm not quite sure. I can't remember. I'll look it up once I get off the video. So basically, if they do that, they'll halt trading for a while. If we do get that, which will be, in my opinion, which will be good. I think that once they halt trading, we get that limit down and they halt trading, we'll probably get a bounce after that. If we look at the VIX, oh man, they killing it. If we look at the VIX right now, it's full steam ahead. The VIX got a lot of resistance up here. So recently, when it's got up around 35, 36, it comes back down. The sellers come in. So, right up around here back in March, we got up around 37. Back in January, we got up around 38. I think we're gonna challenge all of that. This is a major resistance level up here. So if you don't know, VIX measures the volatility of the S&P 500, basically the SPX. But the crazy part about all of this is the skew index is still at 121. And for me, I was always trained that like anything under 130 was bullish. That's how, that's what I was taught. And then, over 130, it was bearish. So it's at 121, but it's been low. So which is crazy. So in my opinion, I don't know what to think about that. Every stock in the S&P 500 right now is down. If you look over here at my advanced decline, it says negative 503 because I think Google's in there twice and it may be something else, but every stock in the S&P 500 right now is down. So I don't even know. I don't know where you could go. Let's look at some futures. I'll look at some futures just to see, is there any place if you wanted to run where you could run to? You could, um, the yen, looks like it's just up a little bit. I still wouldn't count that as anywhere to run. Let's see, you can trade the treasury yields and Tasty. They got a small 2-year, so you could get long this. But once again, it's already in overbought territory. The 2-year yield is up, which is what's driving all of this. The the 10-year yield is up, the 30-year yield is up, but they're all, besides the 30-year, it hadn't quite hit overbought yet. But the 10-year is and the 2-year is, and that's pretty much. Now you got some commodities that are up. Wheat, it's up barely because it looked like it's going sideways. We got, yeah, wheat, that's about it. Soybeans are down, but they have been up. And you got divergence up here on soybeans. So you see how the MACD, see how it's losing momentum, but it continued to make highs. So it may go down. I don't really trade soybeans that much. I don't know if I ever have. Corn. Corn is kind of like in no man's land, but everything's down. I mean, everything. The only thing you got that is up. That's why I said um, that as a trader, you got to get comfortable with trading to the short side, trading down. Let's take a look at, let's see if we can look up some fast movers, see if we can find anything that's up. Oh man, not one thing is up in the fast movers watch list. And so even though I do know how to like get short, I just don't want to get short now because everything is already down. So at this point, you kind of just gotta, if you got option plays, you may have to do some rolling like I did this morning, and then look for bounces on an intraday basis. Find some tickers. Like I still think, I still like I said, like I like a firm. That's what I'm in. Intraday wise, I think we'll get a bump. I don't know how much of it because looking at it right now, if you look at it on the daily, and then once you pull up the if you pull up the MACD, you can see that it crossed over as well. So one of my main things I say, that's why be comfortable with your risk and keep dry powder. Keep some money on the sidelines. There'll be some opportunities to get long, I think. I do think at some point we'll get to a point to where we'll be oversold, right? And then people will come in and buy the market. But right now, everything's getting hit, and there really isn't anywhere to hide. So only people who are up to date, people who are short. You got short deltas, you're up. I don't. I got long deltas because I got long. So this is what the positions. This is just a butterfly that I put on. It was just a little $10 trade. I got a few days on that. I'm not really too much concerned about it. So I'm comfortable with the risk that I have on right now. And then we're just gonna sit back and watch and see what the market does. Be on the lookout. Watch the Russell. If the Russell if the Russell bounces, then we'll probably get a bounce in the overall market. And with that, guys, I'm gonna be out. Peace. Hit that like button. Before I go, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share the video. I will be doing daily updates this week, so you'll get an update from me every day this week, showing you, going over my trades and everything. So then that way, I try to keep you guys abreast on what's going on technically in the market, because that's what for the most part, I like to look at things on an intraday basis, and maybe you can get a trade idea or something from watching me. And with that, guys, I'm out. Peace.